This is really how we live.
What is up, guys? I am Taters from TeamSlopyTaters. You guys know who it is. How are you guys doing today? I'm doing fucking amazing. I just got my email in my inbox today that I am a partner now with RPM Networks and Social Blade, and I am feeling fantastic. So I'm going Monday to open up a bank account for all the YouTube monies. And my content's just going to get better, guys. It's just only going to get better. So keep on watching and subscribe if you haven't. But today I have a Let's Talk about One Day of Peace. If you guys don't know what my Let's Talk series is, I'll explain it really quickly. My Let's Talk series is practically a card review. I just pick a card that I feel like I want to talk about, and I'll explain to you guys how it can be used and how I feel about the card. So today I'm doing One Day of Peace, and we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Now, One Day of Peace is a normal spell card that simply reads, each player draws one card, and neither player takes damage until the end of the opponent's next turn. Now, this card has gotten a bunch of bad rep for being played in so many, what I like to call them, herp derp decks. I classify a herp derp deck as a deck that is played by a player who just sits there and plays for half an hour by himself. What I mean by that is Chain Burn, Final Countdown, Exodia, decks like that. This card has gotten a lot of bad rep because it's played in threes in all of those decks. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that it is great in those decks, but I wanted to break the mold and use this card in other ways. Now, my good friend YuGiOh showed me the versatility of this card. I'll leave a link down in the description to his channel. You guys can check him out and subscribe. He showed me the versatility of this card, and I've loved it ever since. So, let's get into a few points about the deck. Point number one I want to talk about is those self-playing decks. The reason this card is used in like Chain Burn and Final Countdown and Exodia is it gives you a turn to live. A problem with most of those decks was that if you don't have a play every turn, you will lose. And this card mitigates that factor. So, point number two I want to talk about is summon on-summon effects. This card is great for those on-summon effect monsters such as Stratos, Gishki Abyss, Wormzex. All of those cards have an effect that activates on their summon, and this card is great for those monsters. Reason being, let's talk about Gishki Abyss. Gishki Abyss has a great searching effect that when it is summoned, that means normal or special, you can add one Gishki monster with 1000 or less defense from your deck to your hand, except Gishki Abyss. Now, he is a great searcher for the Gishki deck. He searches all of the good cards in Gishkis. The problem with him is he only has 800 attack. And when you summon this card, you either have to have a play that turn, or you're going to be taking some damage. One Day of Peace mitigates that whole factor. You can play your Gishki Abyss safely when you have One Day of Peace in hand. You can play your Gishki Abyss, search for your card, and then play One Day of Peace and know nothing, and know everything is going to be safe for that turn. Now, I do not suggest using this card if you're just running one searcher, such as like just 3 Gishki Abyss. I do not suggest just throwing 3 One Day of Peace in there. If you have multiple cards of that factor, or you have a combo deck that sometimes does not have a play every turn, use One Day of Peace. Reason being, other cards this One Day of Peace works well against is in one of my Gishki builds, I'm running 3 Gishki Abyss and 3 Deep Sea Diva, so that's why I use 3 One Day of Peace to mitigate those monsters. Deep Sea Diva, when I summon it, it can be Veilered, and I don't want just a 200 attack monster sitting there looking like a dumb shit on my field, so I will activate One Day of Peace and let my Diva be destroyed, knowing I'm going to be safe. So, that's why One Day of Peace is a really great card for on-summon effects. Next point I want to talk about is recruiters, such as like Shining Angel, Mother Grizzly, Mystic Tomato, cards of those calibers, where if they're destroyed by battle or if they're sent from the field to the graveyard, you get an effect. Those are all great cards. Mystic Tomato, Shining Angel, they're all great cards. The problem with them is you have to let them get destroyed for their effects to activate. Now you can always set them and let your opponent destroy them, or you can summon it, activate 1 day of peace, and attack into their monster and take no damage. A great example of this is, say you summon your Shining Angel and you activate 1 day of peace. They have a BLS on field. You can attack into their BLS with Shining Angel, take no damage, activate Shining Angel's effect, and get DD Warrior Lady. DD Warrior Lady can attack into that BLS, you still take no damage, and you can remove from play their problem BLS. And then if you have another monster on the field, you can get out their life points. But you can't get out their life points because they take no damage. That is the downfall of this card. If you see an OTK opportunity, you can't take it that turn. That is the one downfall. But this card has so many ups that that one downfall really does not factor in at all. You're only going to be using it on those turns that you need it. You're not going to use it on a turn where you have an OTK in hand, alright? So that's my little spiel about 1 day of peace. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys realized the versatility of this card. Check out YuGiOh's channel. He showed me the versatility of this card, and I've loved it ever since. So like if you enjoyed this video, guys. Favorite and share it to your friends, get my name out there, and subscribe if you haven't, because it's only going to get better from here on. Thank you guys for watching.
Hey Carly, call me maybe. Better yet, call me baby. We drinking up this vodka, she mistaking it for water. This party just made the news, guess who just slapped the reporter?